Hello student. So let's start our tutorial. In this tutorial we will discuss few more features of pandas. So let's start this tutorial. We will start this tutorial with importing numpys and pandas. So import pandas is pd import numpy as np. Now what we are going to discuss today. So today we will discuss some data selection and those kind of things. So let me start. Many times what will happen whenever you will try to read data set, okay, then that data set might be very large, and if you don't want to read entire data set into the memory, then you can read it set by set, or you can say you can read it by rows by rows, okay, or if you want to read a certain number of rows, then you can do it. So here we will see that how we can load the partial data set instead of getting full data set. Okay, so let's say ds data set equals to pd dot read csv, okay, and then name of the csv file, let's say heart failure clinical record dataset.csv, and then we will specify number of rows we want to read. Let's say we want to read there are 300 rows, so let's say we want to read 200 rows. Okay, so we will specify that we want to read only 200 rows. So let's execute it and let's display it. So here you can see that only 200 rows will be retrieved. If you look at this dataset file, then you will find that there are 300 rows into the dataset. Okay, but as we have specified only 200, then 200 will be loaded. Now let's have a look at the information of this dataset. So ds.info, it will give you it will give us idea that which type of data, what is the data type of individual column, okay, and how many values are present in first 200 row. Okay, so you can see in first column in age, for example, all 200 values are present. So in all the column, or you can say in all the attribute, all 200 values are present. Okay, and then you can see the data type is float 64. Now here I would like to tell you something that it may not be always required to use float 64. Let's say if we take the age, okay, then age is never going to exceed let's say 80 or 90 or those, or you can say 120, or at max it may go up to 200. Okay, and it will be always positive. So there is no need of, let's say, float data type. Float 64, okay, we can convert this into the integer. Then this, similarly this anemia, if you look at this, then any value of anemia is either 0 or 1, 0 or 1. Okay, similarly for diabetes it is 0 1 0 1. For ejection fraction, again those values are in range of, let's say, 100. Okay, then high blood pressure 1010, then let's say gender 1010, then smoking 1010, okay, and death event 1010. So many places you can see that we require or we need only a small data type. Okay, so how we can optimize it? Okay, so that we will discuss here. Let's create another variable, let's say ds2 dataset2. Here we will specify the data type. Okay, that for this column we will use this data type, let's say heart failure clinical record dataset. Okay, then we will specify the number of rows in rows equals to, let's say, 200, and then we will specify d type. Okay, so here in d type we will specify that for which column we are going to use which data type. Okay, so let me show you one example. Let's say we are having one column that is age. Okay, and for age we want to use np dot let's say float 8. So these are the options which are available with us. So float 16, float 32. So let's go with float 8. Similarly, for next column, we specify int, let's say 16. Okay, so likewise, let's say we will define for all the column. Yes, so here as you can see, I have specified the data type for all the column. Wherever we are using integer 64, we will replace it with integer 32. Float 64, we will replace it with float 32 or float 16. So let's try to execute it. Okay, and then let's have a look at the info part of ds2. So ds2 dot info. Okay, now you can you see the difference in the size? Here the memory size was 20.4 KB. Okay, and after using or optimizing this data, the memory size is only 9.9 KB. Okay, so if we look at the data, then you can see the data is still same. Okay, so there is no change in data is as it is. Okay, the only change is in data type. Okay, so what will happen, if you will reduce the, let's say, data type size, then it will improve the processing performance, or you can say it will reduce the processing time. Now let's say if you don't want to select all the data, let's say from this data set whatever we have retrieved 200 line. Okay, here we have retrieved 200 line. From this 200 line, let's say we want to randomly select any 10 or 20 or 40 or 50 sample, okay, into one data set, okay, or in another sample data set. So let's say for that we will use ds3 equals to ds2 dot sample. Okay, here we will specify that how many rows we want to get as a sample. Let's say we want to get 70 rows. Okay, and then there is a random state. So this random state will specify that from where you want to actually start it. So here n equals to 7 will specify that out of 200 line we want to select random 17 lines, and random state, let's say from which row you want to start. So that also you can specify. Okay, and then if we look at this, okay, then here it will show us random 70 rows. Okay, so if you look at the index, then you can see 45, 72, 40, 58, 139, 160, 134, 114, 94. So this way you can select the you can say number of rows or samples as per your experiment requirement. Okay, so if you want to see the if you want to test samples randomly, okay, then at that time you can go with this. So for trained model, if you want to provide some testing samples, then using the sample method you can select the rows. Now let's move forward. Let's have a look at the output of describe function. Okay, so let's have a look at this description of this 70 row. Okay, so let's say ds3 dot describe. Okay, so this will give detail 5 value summary. You can say mean, max, then average, standard deviation, and then this range. Okay, and this is the count that how many values are present. Now here you can see this is little bit difficult to interpret. Okay, so if you want to make it more understandable, then you can use the t means transpose. So it will transpose this output matrix. Okay, and if you look at the output, now it is very easy to understand. You can see for age 70 values are present. The average age is 62.218. Then standard deviation is 10.95. Okay, minimum value is 45 years, maximum value is 95. Okay, then if you look at the distribution, then at 25 percentage age, at 25 percentage in data distribution, the age is 52.25. At 50 percentage means in center of this distribution, the age is 60, and at the 75 percentage age is 70. Okay, so similarly other elements like anemia is there. Okay, then creatinine is there, then you can say ejection fraction is there. So you can use the dot t to transpose the matrix. Okay, so output matrix will be converted into more user understandable format. It is not like that you can use this t method only and only with describe function. Okay, you can also display data set, let's say ds3.t. Okay, then it will be displayed in another way. Previously there were index on let's say y-axis, and all the samples were on x-axis. Here you can see that columns or all the attributes are on the y-axis and the individual sample is on x-axis. Okay, you can transpose the output matrix to, let's say, make it convenient to read. Okay, so previously you can say here we have in ds3 we have selected 70 rows. Okay, so if we transpose this, then this 70 rows will become 70 columns, and this 30 columns will become 30 rows. Okay, so if you look at this, then 30 rows and